What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Digital Art with Jesus Conde, and today we're going to be testing a little bit about the VR world and Gravity Sketch. That's the name of the software that we're going to use, and I'm going to be doing something very basic. I'm just going to show you a little bit of what the tools are and what the controls are, and that's it. Alright, so the first thing, we have two controllers, and here you can see this red button is usually to deleting things, and this is the color picker. We have this blue button, which is all the options that you have on the software, either to save like a new sketch, save it if you already did something, to go to the main menu again, which is called exit lobby. You got the settings, which some of them I don't even really use them at all, but some of them are really useful, like this one, which is mirror. You can do like a symmetry kind of thing with that. You can use a grid, which is makes these little points on the air, and you can snap things around. Let me go back a little. Okay, and the mirror one is so you can do this kind of stuff. You can really do very symmetric things really fast if you're using that tool. What else do we have here? We have the vertical lock, which will allow you to just, if you're doing something and you have deactivated, you can turn things around like this, but sometimes you don't want that. So if you push the vertical lock on, you always have this floor and it never moves. If you start to rotate, you cannot do that. Home orientation, this is kind of like a reset kind of thing. You have, if you click it, just goes there basically to the ground. And you have other things that I don't really use at all, but this one is very interesting. The stage floor, it allows you to put a floor on whatever you're doing. But in that case, you know where your floor is. That's very useful sometimes. If you go to the next one, reference images, here you can have folders with images that you want to use for reference later. For example, I have this one, it says Lion Ref, so I can grab an image and just put it here, for example, and expand it and put it wherever I want. If I want to do something with those images, I can, and it is very easy. And this thing that I did accidentally which is basically you can just grab these windows and put it there, wherever, any of them, you can do that. You can do the same thing. If you want to have them in their space like that while you're working here, you can just turn and click things around here and just keep working in there. That's very useful too. You have prefabs, which are characters that you can use, or objects that you can bring, assets and stuff like that. You also have a head. It's very useful whenever you want to design some kind of a helmet or something. Could be cool. And you have kind of a car thing going on. That's also very useful. Let me start a new document here. Well, for some reason doesn't allow me to do that right now. Not sure why is that. And let's see, what else do we have in prefab? Well, we have these characters that you can pretty much manipulate however you want. If you grab the character with this hand, which is this ball that I have, this kind of gray, if I put it in front of something, it turns red. That means that you're gonna grab it. And then if you click the trigger, which is this little button here on the on your middle finger, if you click like that, you can grab it. That's very useful. And if you click this other one too at the same time, you can scale things. That's very useful too. Alright, so if you grab it and basically just click this blue button, then you can change things around with the character, move it and stuff like that. And if you also do right with your stick here, you can pose it in more detail, which is obviously lifesaver when you want to do a scene and you need to be more precise with your character. That's very, very, very good, very useful. All right. Okay, so you have layers. You can create as many layers. Well, not as many. Maybe like last time I used it, it was like 6 or 7. I don't remember exactly. And this is very new, but definitely I haven't tried out completely. But you can see like things from all the perspectives that you need, right? So you can see how it looks from the right and from the front, and also let's say that you need to see how it looks from the bottom, for example. And this is maybe for you is not that big of a deal, but for somebody that's working kind of like something more precise, this is gonna be like a life-changing experience to be able to see this and do it on VR, because before you didn't have this. And at some point I thought maybe we should have something like this, and now we have it. Okay, I don't know how to get rid of this car. Oh, there you go. Okay. The other thing is the tools. The purple button, we showed you the tools that you're using. The first one is the ink. Then we have the stroke, the revolve, surface, volume, and primitive shapes. So we want to start, I think, with the primitive shapes better. This is more easier. If you click one time, you activate the tool, but if you click it again, you see like in detail everything that you can do with the primitives, right? So let's see, I'm gonna grab this donut thing, and I just have to click it with the little tip right here, and then to create it I just have to click and drag, right? Well, right now, because I did it that way, maybe I can change things around a little here. I don't know exactly how. Okay, there we go. Let me move this. Alright, so it seems like if I just click and drag, I can create a new one. But then, if I want to change it, I just gotta have it selected, click the blue button, and then I can just drag. Depends on where you create it, because I'm doing like mirror kind of thing. Interesting. Alright, I didn't know it worked like this. This is the first time I'm using this one. I don't know why I picked that one. Anyway, if I click again, I can see a box, for example. And if I just drag here, I have a box. And the same thing, if I grab it with the little circle and then clicking with the trigger, I can then press the blue button and I will have these options here which I can modify. I can do whatever I want with that. One important thing is normally I don't use these tools too much, just maybe for very basic kind of shapes things. But normally I use assets, and assets are really useful here, but I will show you that later. Okay, so now we have volumes. Volumes are extremely important because you can do this kind of thing very fast. Basically, it's kind of like if you were drawing a line on the air, and then you just, by creating that line, you're filling volumes on everything else, which is very impressive once you get to kind of use it a lot and understand how it works and stuff like that. It gets very useful pretty fast. This is one of the first things that I used that I thought, holy shit, this is pretty amazing to be able to model something even that is not like super, let's say, accurate or detailed. Just to be able to do it like this fast is pretty cool. I mean, you can do pretty much anything, and I don't know, I'm making some kind of a weird vehicle with those donut shapes that I had, which is completely unusable. Anyway, and let's see, you have the surface. Surface is really cool because it's kind of like a sheet. If you do like this, you have to do it with both hands. And and it's pretty cool. You can do a lot of stuff. You can do kind of like a cape kind of thing, or clothing kind of thing. That's cool. And because I'm doing a mirror, I can do the both sides at the same time. That's pretty cool. Anyway, that's that. We have the Revolve. This one is a bit harder to control in my opinion, but it's basically you have this circle shape, and if you click and drag, you start making this kind of like a shape that you can pretty much just control how the width of it and the diameter, and that will help you create some kind of shape, whatever it is that you want to make. I'm pretty sure that you can find this super useful once you like use it for something. Let's say I'm gonna do like a column kind of thing, for example. I just gotta do something like this. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Okay. And now maybe I can just do this, and I will have like a column. And obviously this needs a little bit of a better how do I say that, planning or attention, but you get the idea of what you can do with that tool. It's very useful. By the way, if you just rotate your left stick, this clock appears, and it's like if you were going back in time and forth. So here I'm restoring all the Ctrl Z, and now I'm going to the front like that. That is pretty cool. What else do we got? I have the stroke, which is basically a stroke in the air. That is too small. Something like this is better. This is one of the ones that I use the most. It's not always that useful, but I do use it. And we also have this little one, which is called ink. The ink one is basically the same thing, but you do have kind of like a tip, like a smaller tip at the beginning, and then it goes like thicker later. It's not depending on the how much you press the button or anything. It's just the tip of it stays like that, so it looks more like a stroke actually. The one that is called a stroke should be the ink, and how do you say that in English? Vice versa? Anyway. Okay, so another cool thing that I wanted to show you guys was the assets. The thing about the assets is that you can use your own, right? I also have like my work stuff here. But let's say I have cables, I have computers, stuff from my projects. Like example, I have this, even like a full model of a race car that I made for my own project, and that is here in this, but it's very heavy. It's not like super easy to load. Let me see if I can go back. Oh, sorry. It's still charging. It's crazy. There we go. Here it is. And you can see it right there. It's pretty cool. You can see the little model there. Anyway, but I do have, like, let's say bones. I have these little bones here that you can use. Oops, starting to get okay. And that's like stuff that I use for work too. For example, let's see, cables. I have this kind of like a frames of mechanic pieces. That's very useful too. So if I want to do something with them, for example, I just gotta bring them in, and then by just clicking with the blue button you can put mirrored, and that will allow you to have things mirrored, and you can create whatever you want with those. And obviously this is not like something that you can use that much, but you can definitely create some things with this. I mean, if you wanted to, you could totally do like a transformer head or something from here. It's very useful, especially with the volume tool. With the volume tool you could pretty quickly cover areas like this, for example, and quickly start generating some mesh that you think is necessary to give this guy more of some kind of a personality or whatever. Sorry that I'm talking slow, but I do have to be a little bit concentrate when using the VR, because it's more intuitive than using a computer and like a mouse and clicking, you know. So you're really waving your hand in the air and watching something in front of you. If I duck, you just see it from the bottom. If I turn like this, I'm turning my entire body, so it's more like a active way of working. You're more immersed. So when you're more immersed, you have to be like more concentrated somehow. And that is something that I like about this kind of tool, that allows you to be more involved with what you're doing. When I'm working on the computer, it's less immersive, so you do have access to the extractions, and that is something that I'm liking a lot about this tool, that allows you to be away from the distractions more, because just the way it works. Anyway, that's a very poor representation of a transformer head, but you get the idea, kind of, I hope, of the potential that you have when working with this. I'm pretty sure someone like Kyle Brown or something will do wonders with this kind of tool, man. I cannot wait to see what he comes up with this kind of tool. Anyway, so what else can I show you here? Let's see. Well, if I grab something and I want to change the color, I just click the color wheel, and then you can pick whatever color you want. See? So it's pretty easy. Pretty easy to do that. And next time, if you do it, you have it saved here. So you pretty much can just grab a ton of pieces at the same time and do the same. See, that's very cool. I'm just picking really weird colors right now in purpose, so you guys can see. That's all. And you can pretty much do anything you want, all the iterations possible. Very easy. This is more kind of like a bee kind of thing. It's looking pretty cool. That looks kind of interesting, isn't it? Okay, so if I grab everything like this and click the materials, the color wheel, I can also pick a material. So this is reflective, basic reflective, toon material, and flat material. So the toon has like a black line around, as you can see. It's pretty subtle, but there it is. And you also have this reflective material one, which is pretty cool. But that's just to see yourself. This is not going to translate. You bring it to another software, which is usually what I do. If you bring it to another software, you won't see any of this. So it just dies there. Anyway, I hope this is kind of interesting for you, this way of working. I know to some people could see this as a way too much trouble or way too difficult or whatever, but I'm telling you, it is not. It is very easy to get used to working with this, very intuitive, and if you really have the chance, I don't know, try it out, because it's pretty amazing. I haven't been able to produce too much stuff with this, but I do use it sometimes to work, and the things that I've done with it are pretty cool. Mostly because it also makes things more fun, and that's important. If you're having fun while you're working, it makes you appreciate your work even more and what you do, and I think that's very important to have. Anyway, guys, I think this is it for today video. I know it's pretty short, and some people may be asking, why are you showing this? This is a painting channel, not a 3D channel. But I'm telling you, this is kind of like where I think things are going from now on. I'm gonna do a little bit of both, and I just wanted to show you some basics of how I work with this. So you kind of, if you are new to this kind of thing, you can go back to this video and see like how to control it pretty quick. This is all the stuff that I said today are very basic. There's a lot that goes into controlling the tools, but you just saw what I did with the little stuff that I showed, which is not much, and you can advance pretty fast doing whatever, doing anything really. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I can bring some kind of a idea here for a chest kind of thing, chest piece somehow. Alright, guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Cheers.